This is TechCrunch.
A lot of people in the tech industry think that the winners of the AI model market have already been decided. Big tech will own it, like Google, Meta, Microsoft, a bit of Amazon, along with their model makers of choice, largely OpenAI and Anthropic. But tiny 30-person startup Arcee AI disagrees. The company just released a truly and permanently open general-purpose foundation model called Trinity, and Arcee, spelled A-R-C-E-E, claims that at 400 billion parameters, it is among the largest open-source foundation model ever trained and released by a U.S. company. Arcee says Trinity compares to Meta's Llama 4 Maverick 400B and Z.AI's GLM 4.5, a high-performing open-source model from China's Tsinghua University, according to benchmark tests conducting using base models, very little post-training. Like other state-of-the-art models, Trinity is geared for coding and multi-step processes like agents. Still, despite its size, it is not a true state-of-the-art competitor yet because it currently supports only text. More modes are in the works. CTO Lucas Atkins told TechCrunch that a vision model is currently in development and a speech-to-text version is on the roadmap. In comparison, Meta's Llama 4 Maverick is already multimodal, supporting text and images. But before adding more AI modes to its roster, Arcee says it wanted a base LLM that would impress its main target customers, developers and academics. The team particularly wants to woo U.S. companies of all sizes away from choosing open models from China. Atkins said, "Ultimately, the winners of this game and the only way to really win over the usage is to have the best open-weight model. To win the hearts and minds of developers, you have to give them the best." The benchmarks show that the Trinity base model, currently in preview while most post-training takes place, is largely holding its own and, in some cases, slightly besting Llama on tests of coding and math, common sense, knowledge, and reasoning. The progress Arcee has made so far to become a competitive AI lab is impressive. The large Trinity model follows two previous small models released back in December: the 26B-parameter Trinity Mini, a fully post-trained reasoning model for tasks ranging from web apps to agents, and the 6B-parameter Trinity Nano, an experimental model designed to push the boundaries of models that are tiny yet chatty. Now, the kicker is, Arcee trained them all in 6 months for $20 million total using 2048 NVIDIA Blackwell B300 GPUs. Founder and CEO Mark McQuaid said that is out of roughly $50 million that the company has raised so far. Now, that kind of cash was a lot for the company, said Atkins, who led the model building effort. Still, he acknowledged that it pales in comparison to how much bigger labs are spending right now. Atkins said that this 6-month timeline was very calculated. "We are a younger startup that's extremely hungry. We have a tremendous amount of talent and bright young researchers who, when given the opportunity to spend this amount of money and train a model of this size, we trusted that they'd rise to the occasion, and they certainly did, with many sleepless nights and many long hours." McQuaid, previously an early employee at open-source model marketplace Hugging Face, says Arcee didn't start out wanting to become a new U.S. AI lab. The company was originally doing model customization for large enterprise clients like SK Telecom. The company said that it was only doing post-training with other models, and they would post-train it to make it better for the company's intended use, including doing reinforcement training. But as their client list grew, Atkins said the need for their own model was becoming a necessity, and McQuaid was worried about relying on other companies. At the same time, many of the best open models were coming from China, which U.S. enterprises were leery of or were barred from using. McQuaid said that it was nerve-wracking I think there's less than 20 companies in the world that have ever pre-trained and released their own model at the size and level that Arcee was gunning for. The company started small at first, trying its hand at a tiny 4.5B model created in partnership with training company Datalogy AI. The project's success then encouraged bigger endeavors. But if the U.S. already has Llama, why does it need another open-weight model? Atkins says by choosing the open-source Apache license, the startup is committed to always keeping its models open. This comes after Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg indicated his company might not always make all of its most advanced models open source. Atkins said that Llama can be looked at as not truly open source, as it uses a Meta-controlled license with commercial and usage caveats. Now, that's caused some open-source organizations to claim that Llama is not open-source compliant at all. Arcee exists because the U.S. needs a permanently open, Apache-licensed, frontier-grade alternative that can actually compete at today's frontier. All Trinity models, large and small, can be downloaded for free. The largest version will be released in 3 flavors. Trinity Large Preview is a lightly post-trained instruct model, meaning it's been trained to follow human instructions, not just predict the next word, which gears it for general chat usage. Trinity Large Base is the base model without post-training. And then there's True Base, a model with any instruct data or post-training so enterprises or researchers that want to customize it won't have to unroll any data, rules, or assumptions. Arcee AI will eventually offer a hosted version of its general release model for, it says, competitive API pricing. And that release is up to 6 weeks away as the startup continues to improve the model's reasoning training. That's it from TechCrunch. For more stories like this one, go to TechCrunch.com.